Hi, Gerhard Bloom here once again, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So do you recall when Joe Biden told you that the greatest threat of domestic terrorism was from white nationalists? Wherever did he get that idea? As I mentioned previously, I worked as a strategic intelligence analyst. More than that, I worked at Canada's Integrated Terrorist Assessment Center. Went to Washington, D.C., went to London, England on intelligence exchanges. And I can tell you that the greatest threat to the United States from terrorists is not from white nationalists. This is nonsense. It's a lie. And the intelligence community knows that. I know that. And I suspect most of you know that. Do you recall the recent subway attack by a hate-filled black racist? That is hardly an isolated example. By angry young black men or angry black men carrying out vicious, hate-filled attacks, deliberately targeting minorities, whites and Asians. Do you remember the driver plowing into people at the Christmas parade? Yes, he was black and had a homicidal hatred for whites. And you've also likely by this point seen videos of Asian women being attacked on the streets in callous, brutal assaults by angry young black men. Why are they angry? They're angry because they've been told their entire lives that their failed lives are the result of discrimination and systematic oppression. And they see Asians coming into the United States desperately poor and in a few short years climbing the ladder of success and achievement and escaping poverty, living middle-class lives and beyond. And this fills them with resentment and bitterness. Here's what the stats have to say. So the FBI statistics reveal blacks commit more racist hate crimes than any other group in the United States. And yes, I'm speaking about hate crimes, not just common everyday brutal crimes. These are explicitly hate crimes, and blacks commit the majority of them. And they are not the victims of hate crime in the most. The group that suffers the most hate crimes in the United States are Jews. The militant black organization, the Nation of Islam, is virulently anti-white, anti-Semitic, and its membership is growing. How big is this organization? Well, it's 3 to 10 times as large as all the KKK groups in the United States combined. Just how bad is this organization? Well, its leader, Louis Farrakhan, speaks of his admiration for Hitler, the only white man for whom he has any respect. Why? Well, in the words of Farrakhan, the inferiority of the white race and of Christianity is proved by the fact that all human progress has been achieved by Islam. The only white man worthy of respect is Adolf Hitler, my idol because he tried to get rid of the Jews. This is Louis Farrakhan, leader of the Nation of Islam. Undoubtedly, a certain segment of the white community will respond to this developing racial tribalism. Nothing good is being served by this narrative of systemic oppression. My fear is that its continued pronouncement will only fuel the very racism it's meant to confront. You hear people speaking of diversity is our strength. These are stupid people. Diversity is always a challenge. You look at multiracial, multi-ethnic communities around the world, and frequently they're beset with tribalistic violence and hatred. Do you remember Yugoslavia? Do you remember the horror show that went on in Yugoslavia and its breakup? Do you think about Rwanda? They're all black in Rwanda, but you have the Hutus and the Tutsis, and the violence and the slaughter of innocents. This is an example of tribalism. And no, this isn't just peoples of color. This also happened in Northern Ireland, Catholics and Protestants. So diversity isn't a strength, it's a challenge. And guess what? The United States has been unique in its ability to bring people from different racial and ethnic and religious backgrounds, to bring them together and live in harmony. Why? Because there's a set of universal norms and standards. There's the Constitution and the law that applies equally to everyone. So this playing in the language of diversity will fuel tribalism, fuel racial resentment and hatred and suspicion. This is a very dangerous game we're playing, and it's not a game we need to be playing, and it's certainly not a game we should be playing. For more elaborated discussions on these and other important issues, I hope you will check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. It's available on Amazon, and yes, it's important. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.